There are moments in life when you look at yourself in the mirror and barely recognize the person staring back at you. You see the struggle in your eyes, the weight on your shoulders, the history written across your skin. You see the versions of yourself that survived storms no one else knows about. People see your face, but they have no idea what it took for you to stand here today. The world keeps spinning, responsibilities never stop, and no one is coming to save you. In that silence, in that loneliness, something powerful begins to grow if you let it. A fire that refuses to die. A stubborn force that whispers rise again even when every muscle in your body screams to quit. Every morning you wake up, you have a choice to make. You can listen to the voice that tells you to stay comfortable, to stay hidden, to stay small. Or you can choose the voice that drags you out of bed and pushes you straight into the mouth of the fight. That voice is not gentle. It is not sweet. It tells you truths you do not want to hear. It reminds you that feeling sorry for yourself will never carry you toward the life you want. It shows you that your pain can either become your prison or your fuel. You decide which one it becomes. There was a time when life had beaten me into the ground so hard that I thought I would never get up again. I had nothing. No confidence, no support, no belief in myself. I was dragging a broken past behind me like a heavy chain. But there came a day when I finally understood something fierce. No one cared about my excuses. No one cared about my story. No one cared about how unfair life had been. The world does not hand out miracles. The world hands out reality. And reality demands work. When you feel weak, when you feel lost, when you feel like nobody sees the pain inside your chest, you need to understand something. Strength is not built in comfort. Strength is not built in applause. Strength is built in the dark rooms of your life where no one is watching. It is built in the moments when your legs shake, your lungs burn, and your mind tries to convince you that you cannot take another step. Strength is built when you decide to move anyway. There are people who start life on top of the mountain. They are born with support, confidence, resources, love, and direction. But some of us start at the bottom of a pit. Some of us begin life with no legs to stand on. We crawl while others run. We fight just to breathe, while others glide effortlessly. At first, it feels unfair. It feels cruel. But there is a truth hiding inside that struggle. If you can rise from the bottom, if you can grow legs out of nothing, if you can build strength from pain, then you will surpass people who started with everything, because they only know comfort. But you know war? Your past is not a curse. Your past is a weapon. Every scar you carry is proof that you survived something designed to break you. Every painful memory is evidence that you refuse to disappear. The world does not care about your excuses, but it respects results. The question is whether you are willing to turn your pain into power, whether you are willing to look at the darkest parts of your story and say, "This made me stronger." You cannot waste time drowning in pity. Pity feels warm at first. It feels like someone understands you, someone sees you, someone cares. But the more you let pity hold you, the weaker you become. Your hands stop building, your mind stops growing, your heart stops fighting. You start believing that you deserve less than what you truly want. And every minute you spend sinking into self-pity is another minute stolen from your future. Life is not a fairy tale. Life will not bend to your feelings. Life will hit you, test you, exhaust you, and then ask for more. But hidden inside that pressure is a chance to become something stronger than anything you ever imagined. You do not have to like the pain. You do not have to enjoy the struggle. You just have to understand its purpose. Pain reveals who you really are. It strips away the lies you tell yourself and exposes the truth. And the truth is that you are capable of far more than you allow yourself to believe. When you start focusing on the present moment, everything changes. The past cannot be changed, and the future cannot arrive until you build it. What matters is what you do right now, the work in front of you, the challenge standing between you and your goal. You cannot live in regret. You cannot live in disappointment. You must live in action. Because action is the only path out of suffering. Your attitude is everything. Your willingness to learn, to adapt, to grow, to humble yourself. To start from the bottom and climb with bloody hands if you must. That is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Hard work is not punishment. Humility is not weakness. Starting small is not failure. Every great warrior, every great leader, every great success story began in a place where no one believed in them. What made them rise was simple. They refused to stop. There is a moment in every journey where the world tries to convince you that you have reached your limit. Your body aches, your mind trembles, and doubt begins to whisper that this is as far as you can go. But that moment is a lie. That moment is a barrier built by fear, not by truth. The real version of you lives on the other side of that wall. And the only way to meet that version of yourself is to keep pushing when the voice in your head tells you to stop. Most people never reach their true potential because they never learn how to silence that voice. They retreat the moment life gets uncomfortable. They step back when pressure increases. They collapse when life demands more than they are willing to give. But you are not most people. You are someone who has already survived storms that would have destroyed others. You are someone who has clawed their way out of situations no one else even knew you were drowning in. You have already proven that you can endure. Now it is time to prove that you can rise. You must learn to convert every negative thought into movement, every insult into energy, every setback into strategy, every fear into fuel. Your mind is the most powerful weapon you own, but only if you learn how to use it. If you do not control your thoughts will control you. And a mind controlled by fear is a mind that will never know freedom. Every low-paying job, every exhausting task, every thankless responsibility in your life right now is not a burden. It is training. It is shaping you. It is preparing you. The world tries to trick you into believing that greatness happens in grand moments, on big stages, under bright lights. But the truth is that greatness grows in quiet corners. It grows when you wash the dishes with precision, when you sweep the floor with intention, when you pull weeds in the early morning cold, when you do the small things with discipline and pride even though no one is watching. That is where character is forged. Humility is the foundation of growth. It takes strength to admit you are not where you want to be yet. It takes courage to start at the bottom. It takes bravery to embrace the uncomfortable truth that you have more to learn. But humility creates space for transformation. It keeps you grounded while you climb. It keeps your heart steady and your mind sharp. Humility reminds you that even when you feel alone, you are building something powerful inside yourself. Life will test your patience, your strength, your spirit, and your will. It will strip away comfort and expose who you really are beneath the surface. You will be tired. You will be frustrated. You will question everything. But every challenge that comes your way is a stepping stone designed to elevate you. Every difficulty is a lesson sent to sharpen your mind. Every hardship is a doorway to a stronger version of yourself. When you view your problems as opportunities, the entire world shifts. You cannot let depression steal your mornings. You cannot let regret steal your nights. You cannot let fear steal your future. You must become a collector of minutes, a guardian of your time, a builder of your days. Because the earlier you rise, the more you learn, the more you train, the more you grow, the more distance you create between you and the person you used to be. Day by day, moment by moment. Discipline separates you from the crowd. Those who refuse to adapt crumble under pressure. Those who learn to adapt evolve into something unstoppable. Change is uncomfortable, but stagnation is deadly. Every new challenge that enters your life is a chance to sharpen your survival instinct, a chance to become wiser, a chance to become more dangerous. Not dangerous to others, but dangerous to your own excuses. Dangerous to the version of you that settles for less. Dangerous to the part of you that quits when life hits hard. There is power in starting over. There is power in falling and rising again. There is power in choosing growth even when it hurts. When you drop your ego, when you allow yourself to learn from the ground up, you unlock strength that cannot be taken from you. This is trained humility. It is the decision to return to the bottom willingly, so you never forget the lessons that built you. It is the mindset that keeps your blade sharp even as you rise higher than you ever imagined. The higher you climb, the more you will realize something important. Comfort is the enemy. Success can become a trap. Achievement can weaken you if you forget where you came from. That is why you must force yourself back into the fire. Not because you enjoy suffering, but because you understand what suffering gives you. Knowledge, perspective, hunger, edge. You cannot grow in a soft environment. You cannot evolve in a cushioned life. You must continue to place yourself where pressure exists, because pressure is what turns you into something unbreakable. When you embrace humility, you unlock endless growth. When you embrace discipline, you unlock endless possibility. When you embrace pain as part of your training instead of as punishment, you unlock a path that few ever walk. A path that leads to mastery. A path that leads to purpose. A path that leads to a version of yourself that feels unstoppable, unshakable, and fully alive. Remember this. You are not born to stay broken. You are not born to stay small. You are not born to pity yourself. You were born to rise. You were born to break limits. You were born to turn your past into power. Every challenge you face is an invitation to evolve. Every morning you open your eyes is another chance to become the person you know you can be. No one is coming to do it for you. No one will drag you to greatness. This is your fight. This is your responsibility. This is your moment. So, push yourself. Push every single day. Push beyond the pain. Push beyond the doubt. Push beyond the fear that tries to hold you back. Because the world belongs to those who refuse to quit. The world belongs to those who build themselves in silence. The world belongs to those who rise after every fall and come back stronger than before. And that person is you. It has always been you.